The city of Miami receives more than $6 million to address flooding concerns throughout the city. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
We find out what it takes to become a county coroner, and a local volunteer gets some statewide recognition for her community service.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency is helping address flooding issues in Miami, Oklahoma with a new grant. This is KOIM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The $6.3 million grant is the largest the city has ever received. The city will use the money for hazard mitigation projects in 5 flood-prone areas. The aim is to prevent future road closures due to road flooding, and the selected areas are direct routes in and out of the city. An announcement ceremony was held on one of the most affected bridges in the city, where local and state officials celebrated the steps toward improvement.
This is a $6.3 million grant to raise some bridges and approaches around Miami, some critically important areas to Miami travel, economic development wise, and also just people that live here and people from out of town that are traveling through.
That project is expected to take 3 years to complete from design to finish. The prospect of addressing flood issues throughout Miami makes residents hopeful. KOIM's Samantha Walker spoke with residents about how the flooding has impacted their lives for decades.
My grandmother is one of those that has lived in a house that's flooded multiple times, and I actually currently live in a house that's on the 500-year floodplain right off of this road.
For Miami residents like Caitlin Baker, flooding is something she not only expects, but she fears every time it rains.
I'm always worried about getting stuck in my house because of the flooding. I never know what's going to happen. Same with my grandmother. Whenever her house floods, or even whenever it rains a lot, I mean literally PTSD. It is so overwhelming because you just don't know how much it's going to flood this time, right?
The flooding issues span across Miami, with streets and even homes and businesses known to frequently fill with water.
Every time it floods in our area, we become an island because these roads go underwater, and it's a state agency that's flooding us, and they kind of hold us hostage.
The city is engaged in a lengthy battle with the Grand River Dam Authority, who Mayor Bless Parker says is responsible for many of Miami's flooding issues. A logjam in April that caused flooding sparked more outcries about the impact on the city. Officials hope that the grant for road improvements in flood-prone areas is a step in the right direction.
This is us kind of breaking free of those shackles with this grant, allowing us to open up our roads and make things be able to flow around our community.
Now this is the bridge on Veterans Boulevard in Miami. It's one of the key places to flood, and it's being addressed in the grant. Now Miami city officials say when roadways like this do flood, it makes it difficult for the city to function.
I mean, getting stuck to where I can't go from one side of town to the other unless I go way outside of my normal. And I mean, that costs more gas. You're using your car more. And with how everything is right now, I mean, that's really hard on someone's paycheck.
A lot of people say, hey, you're the town that floods. I can't bring my business there because I won't be able to get traffic through town when it floods. So this will be that stopgap that won't hold us prisoner anymore.
For residents like Baker, she's excited for what the future might hold.
It literally changes people's lives, and so I'm hoping this will change for the better, and that we can trust in our leadership in Miami that they're going to take care of us and they're going to push for us.
Reporting in Miami, Samantha Walker, KOIM News.
City officials say they are continuing to look for ways to address flooding issues as they continue their legal battle with the GRDA. Hot out there today. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us with a first look at the weather.
Was a hot one. Unfortunately, it's still pretty warm out there. It's 95 degrees, but it still feels like it's 103 out there in Joplin, and even in surrounding counties, even warmer than that. Now, we do have a nice southerly breeze gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. Humidity is still above 40%. When that happens, that heat index value does skyrocket up into the triple digits. Actual temperatures right now, 95 in Joplin, 96 in Pittsburgh, 101 in Parsons, Chanute, 103 in Independence. So it's really hot out there, especially in those western counties. That's going to continue through tomorrow as well. We do have a heat advisory still remaining in effect through tomorrow evening. And even in the hot pink, there is an excessive heat warning, which is the highest heat threat that we have due to the intensely high heat index values. Luckily, we've got a cold front moving through, and we'll talk about it in just a bit.
See you soon. Missouri voters are going to choose nominees for county coroner on August 6th. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The role of a county coroner is more than just transferring bodies.
I could, have something at 8 o'clock in the morning, have something at noon, work a homicide till 10 o'clock at night, midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning. The phones do not shut off.
Residents in Jasper, McDonald, Vernon, and Newton counties will vote for their next county coroner for a 4-year term. The Vernon and McDonald County races for coroner are uncontested. Jasper and Newton counties both have 2 candidates running for coroner. The position's qualifications are set by law, and the state county coroner must be 21 years or older and live within the county. According to the CDC, medical training is not a requirement for county coroner.
I think you should have some type of experience. Everyone's a hardworking individual, I'm sure, but the people that come out and want to be the coroner, there are so many things that you have to do. And we could list everything, but we'll be here for a while.
However, the county medical examiner, who is appointed rather than elected, must be a licensed physician by the State Board of the Healing Arts.
Amber, thanks. A Freeman volunteer received some high honors. Susan Carlston was selected for the Missouri Community Service Commissioner's Senior Service Award. She volunteers at Freeman Neosho, Meals on Wheels, her church, and the Neosho Fish Hatchery. Carlston was not able to attend the original ceremony in the spring because she was volunteering. A local athlete hits the mat to compete against some of the best wrestlers in the country. John Dales is going to have her story later in sports. Plus, an organization in Carthage wants to make sure families have the diapers they need. Happy Bottoms Diaper Charity helps Southwest Missouri families who struggle to afford diapers. As demand increases, the charity says they can't help others without donations from the community. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
It takes the whole village to help the people.
1 in every 2 families have difficulty affording diapers for their children. To help, Happy Bottoms Charity in Carthage provides a monthly supply of 75 diapers to families in need.
They're relieved and they are appreciative. They are surprised at the generosity of the program.
But the organization says demand has gone up, and they can't meet the diaper needs of the community without the support of donations from the public. And they say they'll even accept open diaper packages.
Definitely an increase in need. We have seen a 77% increase over last year.
Susan Belger-Angulo, the Co-Executive Development Director, says that to combat people who aren't in need but may be looking to take advantage of the generosity of charities, they have a system in place.
Portal system that allows an agency like McCune Brooks Healthcare here in Carthage to see where if a family is receiving diapers from another partner agency of Happy Bottoms, and that we really try to make sure that families only receive 75 diapers a month.
According to Nielsen IQ, diaper prices have increased by 22% since 2018, and government assistance, like WIC, doesn't cover diapers. She says that's why this charity matters so much.
It's always heartbreaking to see a family in need, but I think what gives us hope is that we see the relief on a family's face when we say yes, we can give them diapers.
Angulo says that a lack of access to diapers is not only an economic issue, but a health issue, as not having them can cause dermatitis and other skin issues for children. Reporting in Carthage, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Angulo, the co-director, is currently advocating to get sales tax on diapers reduced or eliminated. To donate to Happy Bottoms, check out the information on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. A little later, kids in Parsons, Kansas come out for an event featuring police with popsicles.
And it's been hot, but we're looking forward to a little relief with the cold front moving through. We'll talk about it right after the break. It's going to be a pretty warm evening, but it's going to be clear skies as well. We'll go ahead and take a look outside at downtown Joplin from Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Not a cloud in sight. It's going to be pretty nice other than the heat. It's going to be hot. at least throughout the rest of the day tomorrow as well. We've got a heat advisory still in effect through tomorrow evening, and even in that hot pink, that is an excessive heat warning, which is worse than a heat advisory. Those heat indices getting up above 110 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be really hot, really muggy as well. Humidity values are just going to continue to rise as well. That's thanks to a few showers that we might see in the morning hours on Tuesday. We're not looking at any severe threat, but as those push through and then starts to evaporate, it's going to add to the humidity in the air as well. Now, few clouds in the area overall, but tonight's looking pretty good. We do have that high heat risk from today, major risk for all of our counties, and even an extreme risk in some of our western counties. Tomorrow's looking a little bit better. We do have cooler temperatures, but with the humidity, that heat index is still going to be relatively high. We still have that major risk for most of our counties in the south, and then a little bit more of a moderate risk in our northern counties. Luckily, we see a relief on Wednesday. Cold front moves through early Wednesday morning, so temperatures drop nearly 15 degrees. We're seeing quite a change in that risk through Wednesday. Now, we'll go ahead and look at the future feels. So this is our heat index for tomorrow. We're going to get up to 111 in Joplin, 112 in Oswego, Parsons, 114 in Independence, 115 in Nowata. So the southwestern county is going to be the highest. A little bit on the northern counties, a little cooler. Not too much. Unfortunately, with the humidity, it's still going to be pretty hot. Then we look forward to Wednesday, and we're really dropping down. It's going to feel like it's in the 80s. Temperatures are in the 80s. It's going to be great. We do have at least one more hot day to get through. We do have those showers pushing through early in the morning, starting early as 5 a.m. Few showers, maybe even some thunderstorms early in the morning. We're not looking at a severe threat, no flooding, but you might see some lightning, you might see some thunder as well. Then we move through the afternoon. This is where we're going to see that cold front move through. Winds shift from the south and out of the north after it passes, and this is early Wednesday morning, dropping those temperatures down about 15 degrees. Now this, we do have a severe threat, low and severe. We're expecting strong wind gusts and even a low flooding risk as well. Now, these storms push into the Joplin Metro. This is about 3:30 in the morning on Wednesday, so it's going to be an overnight storm. And unfortunately, we do have scattered thunderstorm and scattered showers continuing through most of the afternoon, which would just add to that localized flooding threat that we're going to see with some of these storms. Like I said, though, temperatures do drop nearly 15 degrees on Wednesday, and that trend continues for the rest of the week. We see about average temperatures, average highs for most of the week, and a little bit cooler lows down to the low to mid 60s for our overnight lows for the next several days and into the weekend. Next week, we do have some more rain chances kicking up, but I'm going to enjoy this nice stretch of cooler temperatures.
Absolutely. We will deserve it after getting through today and
the last couple days.
So.
Yes, I
Thanks.
agree.
Still at Chanute High School wrestler receives All-American status, and Bobby Witt Jr. represents the Kansas City Royals at the MLB Home Run Derby. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next.
The 2024 Junior Women's Wrestling Freestyle National Championships wrapped up in North Dakota over the weekend, and a local athlete shines on one of the sport's biggest stages. Kylie Dillow, who will be a junior at Chanute High School this coming fall, is named a Fargo All-American at the National Championships. Competing at 170 pounds, she beat her first two opponents 10-0 and 12-0, advancing to the quarterfinals as one of the last 8 wrestlers standing in a tournament that featured 128 participants in each weight class. Now today begins Major League Baseball's All-Star break. None of the 30 Major League clubs play this evening, but the 2024 Home Run Derby takes place. Royals shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. will be participating in tonight's Home Run Derby. The Kansas City Slugger is one of 8 competitors in tonight's event. He has 16 home runs through the first half of the season. Now maybe Witt's toughest competition comes from Pete Alonso, who's already won the Derby twice in his career. He's trying to join Ken Griffey Jr. as the only 3-time winner. Things get started at 7 o'clock tonight at Globe Life Field in Texas. Now today also marks day 2 in the 2024 MLB Draft. Rounds 1 and 2 took place yesterday. Things speed up with rounds 3 through 10 starting this afternoon. The Royals drafted a two-way player and a catcher in the first 2 rounds yesterday. They stay pitcher heavy in day 2. Kansas City drafts 8 players, 7 of whom are pitchers, including Drew Beam, LP Langevin, and AJ Causey. All 3 of them are third-team All-Americans in 2024. Kansas City's lone position player from the second round day is from Kenyon Brown, catcher at North Carolina A&T. He batted .322 as a junior this past season. Meanwhile, the Cardinals' only pick from day 1 was West Virginia shortstop J.J. Weatherholt. They lead off day 2 with Brian Holiday, who saw very limited action with Oklahoma State this year after being named the JUCO World Series Most Outstanding Player in 2023. In the 4th round, they take Arizona State catcher Ryan Campos. He's batted above .350 the entirety of his college career. They also draft a couple All-Big 12 performers in Braden Davis and Josh Cross. Draft wraps up with rounds 11 through 20 tomorrow. Well, college football fans have been waiting for today for a long time. It's the first time in 11 years that EA Sports is releasing an NCAA football video game. Their most recent iteration of their college football franchise was made back in 2013, but production stopped after several legal disputes over using players' name, image, and likeness. Now that NCAA athletes are allowed to profit off their name, image, and likeness, the video game series makes its return with College Football 25. Now, although the game also has only D1 schools, there is a feature where you can build your own team, so fans around here could build a Pitt State, could build a Missouri Southern, whatever they want.
A lot of athletes are going to make some money off of this,
They
and
will.
they'll probably be buying some of the games themselves. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Missouri Southern's Board of Governors holds a special meeting to discuss penalties for students with late payments. Plus, the summer travel season is adding some extra baggage for Americans. We're going to learn how many people are going into debt to get away, and how NASA is celebrating 2 years of scientific operations for its James Webb Space Telescope. Those stories, a lot more, is coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Parsons, Kansas Police Department hosted a cool event at the Parsons Public Pool. Kids of all ages turned out for the Popsicles with Police event. In addition to getting some cool, tasty treats, kids got to interact with local police officers.
And any time more than now, it's extremely important for a police department to show people that we are here for you and that we're here to work for you. Times are different, and the police now, we're here to show people, that we're not always here just to, pull you over, give you tickets, or arrest you. It's different.
The Labette Center for Mental Health also got in on the fun. Thanks to a donation from the center, the first 50 kids swam at the city pool free of charge. If you're going to be outside today, then at a pool with a popsicle in your hand wouldn't be a bad place to be.
That
It's
would
been
be
hot.
the ideal way to spend it. Unfortunately, heat advisories continue through tomorrow with heat indices in the triple digits. Luckily, we've got a cold front moving through early Wednesday morning, late Tuesday night. That will bring some relief to our area.
Certainly be welcome. Final sports notes.
I'm looking forward to see what Bobby Wood Jr. can do at the Home Run Derby tonight. I'll have all the highlights from that later tonight.
Very good. CBS coverage of the Republican National Convention starts at 9 o'clock tonight. And of course, we'll be right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Closed captioning on